Question 2.
Sand or other materials spilt from improperly covered lorries on public roads can endanger the safety of other motorists and dirty our environment. The National Environment Agency, NEA, engages sand suppliers and commercial transport companies to remind their drivers to be vigilant in keeping sand covered during transport. Commercial transport companies are also reminded to inspect their lorry fleets regularly for faulty cargo flap covers. From 2016 to 2018, NEA took more than 450 enforcement actions against drivers for transporting sand and other materials without proper cover. Under the Environmental Public Health Public Cleansing Regulations, persons conveying sand or other similar materials along a public road by vehicle without adequate cover faces fines of up to $1,000 upon conviction for a first offense. Additionally, under the Environmental Public Health Act, persons who drop or spill the same on a public road would also be liable for fines of up to $2,000 upon conviction for a first offense. Members of the public who witness sand spillage on public roads should report the incident to NEA.
Ms. Joan Pereira.
Thank you, SMS, for your reply. On the roads, I very often see vehicles carrying sand, both wet and dry, overloaded with these items, sand, gravel, stones, and they may even be partially exposed. And these pose a real danger to other vehicle users and even people. Can NEA consider working with MOT to deploy road surveillance technology to monitor such vehicles and take enforcement action when necessary? Thank you.
Thank the member for the supplementary question. NEA employs portable surveillance cameras to detect vehicles who spill sand materials or other materials on the public roads. They deploy such devices at hotspots to spot and identify errant vehicles and their drivers for further investigation and enforcement. And in addition, NEA actually do stakeouts along public roads to spot and act against such errant vehicles and drivers. The Land Transport Authority, on the other hand, actually conducts routine patrols and operations to enforce against overloaded vehicles. So offenders who are caught with their trucks or lorries exceeding the maximum laden weight limit can be fined up to $1,000 upon conviction, jail for up to 3 months, or both.
Mr. Lim Bao-chuan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just wanted to ask the SMS. At my constituency, there are thousands of such heavy laden vehicles plying the road, and unfortunately, the feedback I have is that they are either uncovered or they are spilling debris all over the road. I just want to ask SMS whether can enforcement be stepped up, because 450 summons really doesn't seem a lot, and every day that I drive the road, I see a lot of such vehicles that are in breach. The other thing is whether would MEWR or NEA consider from the origin of the journey, make it a mandatory for the contractor that loads the sand to carry out an inspection before the vehicle can even go out. That means the contractor checks and ensures that the vehicle is properly covered and everything is secured before they even go out. And if any vehicle that is caught in breach, we not only go after the driver, but we also go after the contractor that allowed the vehicle to get out from their work site in the first place. Thank you.
Thank the member for the supplementary questions as well as for his suggestions. First, as I've said earlier, any member of the public who actually observe such spillage on the roads can report it to NEA. As I've also noted, NEA does do stakeouts as well as deploy portable cameras for surveillance of such acts. So very often our cameras, portable cameras, are actually installed at hotspots. That is where we receive quite a number of feedback and tip-offs about such spillage near, for instance, large construction sites or concrete batching plants where these vehicles often ply in order to enforce against such vehicles and the drivers. And just to note that actually between 2016 and 2018, we received more than 300 feedback on spillage on the roads from such trucks and lorries. But actually, the numbers have been declining. So I will follow up. The member could follow up through NEA on the area that he's talking about. As regards the responsibility, as I've also said, upstream, we actually work with the commercial transport operators as well as the sand suppliers and remind them that they need to inspect their lorry fleet frequently, make sure that the flat covers are operational. The drivers are responsible for ensuring that the flat covers are actually properly cover the building materials before they drive off the site. So they are actually responsible for that, and that's why our act actually make them responsible. But we work with the vehicle owners to identify who the particular drivers are. As I've said, we will continue to see how we can engage the commercial transport operators and sand suppliers, building material suppliers for that matter, upstream.